listening to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
All right, let's get Coach G on here in a minute here. But yeah, we are back on Sweep the League. We are offering again. We're going to be setting on our social medias there. We've got a lot of different ways you can help. Obviously, with Hunt, Texas, we mentioned Trey Collis, who was a part and still is a part of Sweep the League. He's been on many of our podcasts before, so definitely praying for him and everybody out in Kerrville. It's going to be myself. It's going to be Coach Gio. Again, do whatever you can out there for everybody that has been affected by the floods here in Texas. And yeah, we're back. We got a lot to talk about here. And you know what we do, man. When we have to, we got to do it. So of course, let's call his name out, right?
His name and he appears.
And that is Coach Gio. We said his name. He has appeared, man. It's been almost 2 weeks since we've done this. I'm hoping I don't forget how to do all this stuff, man.
I mean, Rudy, you have all the equipment. You're big time. I know you went to Arizona for a business meeting, so
not so much a business meeting. It was a vacation, but we got to get into vacation. You had a vacation too. You recently got back from California. So
I did, yes. The West Coast is always fun.
I gotta ask questions on that. We're gonna save the vacation talk because I went to the Grand Canyon, and they're right. Pictures don't do justice when it comes to the Grand Canyon.
No,
but I also went to an Arizona Diamondback game, and Chase Field, probably the best field I've been to, period, in MLB. And I've been to a few of them. That was probably the best one. Outside of that, Gio, we went to the mall one time, and I thought people in Texas and San Antonio dressed not inappropriately. I mean, I guess if you want to call comfortable. What I saw in Phoenix, man, I'm going to say this. Charles Barkley played in Phoenix. I think you should talk a little bit more about the people there than you do the women in San Antonio, because what I saw was blinding, put it that way, man. I was definitely what you kids call the weekend, blinded by the light. I was definitely something.
Well, I haven't been to I haven't taken a trip to Arizona yet. I've had some layovers at the airport, but that Grand Canyon, it's definitely on the list, Rudy. I was in Vegas. I could have drove, but just kind of ran out of time. But the dressing wise,
oh God,
a little surprising. It is really hot though, right?
Well, I gave him the benefit of the doubt because it is hot. It's very hot in Phoenix. That was the other thing I got to get into is the Phoenix thing. There's a lot of stuff we got to get into, man. Phoenix, we're going to save the vacation talk for a little bit, man. But outside of that, again, Gio, we talked at the beginning of the show here. We opened it up with the floods in Texas. Where I live just outside of San Antonio. The very next day, we started to experience a little bit of flooding in our town, which is Seguin. And I had a buddy, boxer in Seguin. His name's Ruru, and he posted a video, dude. The HEB where my wife and I shop in Seguin, that whole street was damn near flooded, damn near underwater. The restaurant behind it, I think it was 1808, if I'm not mistaken. That restaurant had water going into it, which is directly behind HEB. So a lot of people affected by this, man. It's crazy.
I actually looked at the map, Rudy, because I've seen a lot of posts. I knew it was in Texas, but when I looked at the map today, talking to my girlfriend, I was like, wait a minute, it's pretty close to where Rudy kind of lives. It's kind of went through. I was like, oh no. And then I remember where Trey lives. I was like, wait a minute, that's pretty close. I was like,
yeah,
it's crazy to think, as someone who grew up in Florida, Rudy, I've seen my fair share of floods, hurricanes, and I'm sure a lot of people in Texas have as well. But it's kind of a surreal moment when you experience that. Thoughts and prayers go out, Rudy. Wasn't there a girls' camp that completely destroyed?
Yeah, so
I forgot the name.
Camp Mystic, it was, and it has, I think, several different camps. And I'm not going to pretend to know the death total. I know it's well over 100. I know there's a lot of kids involved. I know there's still, last time I heard, which was yesterday, was there's still like 167 people missing. I'm assuming to include kids. I don't have the latest number, but yeah, man, it's, it's just crazy. It's wild. I mean, my daughter actually went to camp there a year ago in that area, which was in Hunt, Texas, if I'm not mistaken. So knowing that, it's just like it pulled at my heart. It pulled at my wife's heart. It made us very sad, knowing that our daughter had been in that area a year ago or so, during school. And it's just, it's one of those moments where, like, man, you don't know what to think. You don't know what to think at all, especially like you mentioned Trey. Trey's been a part of Sweep the League, for many, many years, and he's doing a great job doing the coverage for high school sports in that Kerrville area, Hunt area, Comfort, and talking to him and seeing his post and the family going through what they got to go through in the rebuild. I'm just glad that he's fine. But yeah, man, it's just a terrible situation.
Well, Rudy's definitely different when it hits home.
Yeah,
right? Like I remember that the school shooting in Florida, I think it was Parkland or one of those schools there. I was close by. I mean, it always hits home, especially when you're close. But a flood, I mean, that is anything's possible. I've heard so many stories of just homes just literally just disappearing. And I remember that hurricane, Rudy. Remember in North Carolina, I think it was the Asheville area, Tennessee. Some towns just completely disappeared. I mean, it's mind-boggling to think. But no, it's been a crazy time in the great state of Texas. So thoughts and prayers go out.
Yeah, definitely. Thoughts and prayers. Again, I'll be sharing the social media on our social media where you can donate if you want to be able to go down there and help. We're going to see if we can head down there, offer some help as much as we can. So we'll let everybody know, man. But definitely, if you can help out, that's a big, big plus for them down there. Now, this is crazy. PTS TV. That I got to make the announcement. You don't know about it because you're not on Twitter. You're not cool anymore. You're not part of the young generation.
Yeah, the drama.
Yeah, you're not a part of drama, X drama. Well, PTS TV is the new channel, the sister channel of Sweep the League. That's Plead the Sith TV. So that's definitely our boy Darth Sith there, Elias, the Doctor of Style Sith. He's launched PTS TV, Plead the Sith TV, and he's doing a fantastic job. Going to give a quick shout out to him here. Harry Austin, appreciate Harry joining in. Good evening, Harry. And he looks like he's moving to Phoenix because I told him about, I guess we're talking about the big women in Phoenix. Let me put that to rest. Gio, if you want to talk vacation, we can talk vacation. Now, we can do that first. Okay. We'll talk vacation. Before we jump into vacation talk here, I was hoping to get a bunch of people in. Let's share this out here, Gio, because the next episode of Pleading the Sith, which he's had MCS's own, shout out to MCS, Chris Leha on. He's having Mike Jimenez. He recently, Joe Garcia, the creator of Area 210 podcast. Maybe Sith could find out what happened to the rest of our super chat money. We were missing here at that, but hopefully Sith can get something going over there. He's doing a fantastic job. Shout out to him, man. He's doing a great job out there. He's going to be having Mike Jimenez. Now, apparently, this is going to be one of those episodes where it just gets attacked. Like he's going to get attacked. So I let it be and I let it go. They do what they got to do. Sith does what he has to do. So be sure to check that out July 15th, 5 p.m. start time. It's going to be live on his channel. It's going to be live on our Twitter or our X feed. Don't want to miss it. It's Plead the Sith with Elias, Dr. of Style Sith, and Mike Jimenez of the Alamo City Podcast Network. So shout out to them as well, man. But vacation talk. You went to California. And you were Disney. You were all Disney. Did you do the Transformer thing? Don't they have a Transformer thing out there with Megatron?
That is Universal. I've done that.
Oh, okay. How was it? I want to go there.
To Universal or Disney?
Wherever the Megatron dude is. I want to do that whole thing.
That is at, I believe, Universal Studios.
So that's Orlando? Or is that California?
It's both. I would probably suggest maybe go to the Orlando one because you have Islands of Adventure, which is next door. And then you also have the brand new park, Rudy, in Epic Universe, which has Mario Land it has, I mean, a whole bunch of brand new stuff. So I would probably do Orlando. California is a little bit smaller, kind of in stature, but definitely, if you love that stuff, they have the Hulk coaster. I think it's Out of Adventure. That Spider-Man ride. I mean, it's a blast there. Though, really, I am not a roller coaster or type of person, uh, but I do it because I love my girlfriend. So
You don't like roller coasters?
I don't mind them. I tolerate them, Rudy. What the fuck? It now the worst one I actually really hate is the ones that go like up and down like this.
So that's not a roller coaster though. That drop?
roller coaster / rides, but the one at Disney, which used to be Tower of Terror, which is now the Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Disneyland and Orlando. It goes up and then it goes all the way down. It just goes up, and I just hate those like sinking drops. The roller coasters I can tolerate a little bit more. It's like the twists, the turns, whatever the case may be. But if you look at some of the pictures, you know how they take the snapshot.
Yeah,
you can tell I'm not really enjoying myself on the ride. So,
oh man,
I do it. It was fun though. I mean, the food, you have a ton of things. I had some Mexican food in California. A lot of walking. Probably the first day I had 30,000 steps. Probably a total of close to over 50,000 steps in 2 days. So definitely walked my legs off. Different than Orlando to a certain extent, because Orlando has more parks as it's Walt Disney World. So, but had a blast. Was there for 2 days and really hit the ground running. Came on Saturday and kind of rusted up. But I love going to Cali. It's fun. I just don't love the time difference. Just kind of
that's
kind of weird. But
because okay, crazy. You mentioned time difference. You know, we get to Phoenix and I was awake. Me and my wife one day woke up. We were like, "Holy shit, we are late. We got stuff to do." It was bright. It was sunny. I mean, we were staying off the golf course. I mean, it was amazing, but it was 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And the sun was blasting in the window.
Yeah. The same as California as well. I had woken up really early and I noticed, wait, the sun's out. You look at your phone and say, oh, I can actually sleep in.
Dude, yeah, exactly. We woke up. We were like, oh my God. She thought it was 5:30 in the evening. She thought we slept all day. And I'm like, no, it's 5:30 in the morning. The time difference sucks. I'm going to be honest with you. But I'm glad you had a great time. I'm sorry to hear you don't like roller coasters / rides.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but you know what? You only live once. So I rolled all the rides. I didn't ride them twice though. But I rode them enough. But I am supposed to go to Epic Universe potentially in December. So I'll kind of check off that one in Orlando. So,
dude, you're rich. You're rich. Don't lie to me.
I'm not rich. I save up. So, hey, that's how I spend my money. But yeah, so I'm going to Epic Universe. Rudy, you should definitely go to Orlando. Have you been to Disney and all that stuff?
I have not been to Disney. The closest thing to Disney is the Disney store in San Marcos Outlets. That's the closest I've been to Disney.
Rudy, Frisco's getting some sort of Universal Studios. I don't know if it's different than Orlando and California, but Frisco, Texas is getting some sort of Universal Studios. So definitely check that out if you can. Rudy, don't you guys got SeaWorld in San Antonio?
Yeah, we got SeaWorld in San Antonio.
I don't know how is it. I don't know if it's the same as Orlando. Probably not, but sure it's similar.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's SeaWorld, dude. I mean, you can't get hyped for SeaWorld. It's dolphins, it's killer whales jumping.
They do got some roller coasters there. I mean,
they've got, I think, a couple. I think 2 for sure. The eel, there's something eel. And then another, I don't know, dude. I haven't been to SeaWorld. I haven't been to SeaWorld since I worked there. That's probably like, 20 years ago, 30 years ago?
Well, funny story, Rudy. I actually used to work at SeaWorld parks myself.
That was in Florida, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I worked, that was my first job. I think that's almost It's weird because if
We need
you're
pictures, Rudy.
I don't. Well, we didn't. Back in the day, that's when we had to roll the film and then take the picture. So, yeah, there's no pictures of me working at SeaWorld other than if you took a picture when I was filling in for Shamu. Then yeah, you can probably got that picture somewhere laying around there. But I'm glad you had a great time, dude. Let me get to some comments before we do more vacation talk. Now, Sith is saying he's going to play defense for Mike. I don't know why you should have to. It's your show. Cook them if you want. Got to get that. Mike versus Leija. I think that's the next one that they're going to work on. We'll see. Rudy, as of today, are the Spurs a surefire playoff team? Hold on, Jeff. Hold on. We're going to talk vacation. Then we're going to bring up Spurs talk later. Gio's like, maybe, but I think I'm a little bit higher than he is here. We're going to get to that. Leija, shout out to MCS General Contracting, the best in the business, 100% guaranteed, backed by Sweep the League here. It's MCS General Contracting. Late to the show. My apologies. Gents. What's good? Man, we are just about to cook on vacation and NBA talk. Don't worry about that. Also, I got to cook on YouTube. I'm tired of these YouTube people, Gio, because dumbasses are coming at me about generational talent. You know how I feel about that. We're going to get into that here as well. Man, the Spurs are a contending team. Come on, Jeff Corney, Jonathan Perez. Yo, glad to see you, gents. What is up, JC? Special leave himself. Ha. It's coming. So the Leija versus Jimenez showdown coming. Gio, Phoenix. Okay. Gets Phoenix. It's okay. Like I said, I had a blast of the baseball game. Every Giants game that I've been to, they've lost. So, I mean, I've never seen them win in person. Still haven't. Feels like a Falcon fan. But we also went to the Grand Canyon. Now, the Grand Canyon, bro, yeah, pictures don't do it justice.
No.
I mean, it is an amazing sight. I am terrified of heights, so apologize to my family. I didn't get near the rails. I saw the Grand Canyon from afar.
Come on, Rudy.
I cannot. I'm
get all the way up there. You got to go up to the Grand Canyon. No. Don't jump, of course, but I mean,
no, I'm not gonna do that. I won't even. I won't jump, but no, it's like no. I just couldn't do it.
You like roller coasters?
That's weird. I love roller coasters, but I can't I can't get on a roof of a building and look down. When I go to a basketball game or something, I cannot sit in the nosebleed.
Oh, really?
It scares the shit out of me. I can do a roller coaster because I'm strapped in. I'm going so freaking fast. I mean, most of the time I'm okay, but it's so weird how I just can't. I can't do heights. So the Grand Canyon, amazing. Now, first off, drivers in Phoenix. I thought Houston was bad. I thought San Antonio was bad. Drivers in Phoenix, they're pretty damn bad. They suck. And you're either driving 20 miles below the speed limit or 60 miles above the speed limit. And the HOV lane out there is damn near, it's fucking suicide. I mean, you get in there, if you're not doing 95, just get off of that. Don't even get on that part. So we did that. The people in general, Gio, I am telling you the absolute truth. The old lady that worked at Target, the old greeter at Walmart, and I will say one of the hotel receptionists are the only three people that my entire family met in the entire week that were nice. Everyone that we met were complete assholes. Assholes. I mean, I bought something at Half Price Books. Shout out to Half Price Books. I take it to the register. The guy's like, "Is that it?" "Yeah, that's it." Gives me the receipt. "Can I have a bag?" Looks at me with the look of like, you're just a fat piece of ass. "Why do you want a bag?" I'm like, "Well, I want a bag because I'm going to Target next door, bro. I don't want them to think I stole this." Proceeds to give me a bag that, a grocery bag or whatever, the size of, California, for a little book that I bought. I don't know. They were just rude. But the women, dude. Oh, God, the women. I know it's 115 degrees. I know it's 117 degrees. Trust me. It's freaking hot. We would go in the car And Jesus Christ, my fat thighs, Gio, were cooking. It smelled like fried chicken in the entire trip every time we drove anywhere. Our legs were cooking left and right. But some of the women there, dude, short shorts, knowing they had to wear at least an extra large t-shirt, squeezing into a small. I mean, it's bad enough when, you hear the girls talk about a fupa. You know what a fupa is?
Yeah.
Well, when the fupa has a fupa, it's pretty damn bad. That's what I saw. And I'm not making fun. I'm a big guy. I can make fun of big people. I'm a big guy. But there's just some shit that you should not wear. Period. Like, period. That's how my week was, man.
Well, Rudy, you know that Phoenix is one of the most rudest cities in America.
Thanks for letting me know now.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're aware, but they actually rank, I believe, in the top 15. Could be closer, and I don't know. But I do remember seeing something a few years ago saying Phoenix, one of the rudest cities in America, Rudy. So, not surprised.
True, dude.
Being at Disney, Rudy, probably the same thing. People are wearing stuff you absolutely should not be wearing in public. And I don't know if that's a West Coast thing or what, but
I tried to be nice.
Did you have any Mexican food there, Rudy?
Hell no.
No.
I did not try the Mexican food.
What'd you end up eating, Aura?
Well, it was a lot of fast food, dude. It was a lot of fast food.
Makes sense.
I couldn't get to certain areas because for whatever reason, it was like this was closed, that was closed. I think because of the time difference, we really couldn't get our time right. I guess thinking, well, this place closes late or this place closes early. I did try K-Bop Bowl. It's like a Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
I had that for the first time. I'm sad they don't have it in San Antonio because that's a pretty damn good place. I really enjoyed that. Overall, I think we did a lot of shopping, which was cool. I like to go shopping, but dude, had you told me that they were the rudest or one of the rudest cities, I wouldn't have gone. That was a complete kick in the balls that week. Like, for real, dude. I mean, I could have stayed home and, gotten rude people here for the amount of money that we paid. Jeez.
Was there another place that y'all were considering, Rudy, besides Phoenix?
Yeah. So we considered San Diego, but I didn't have, $7,000 to spend on a hotel room because it's just ungodly expensive.
Well, I've been to San Diego, but if you do Airbnbs, it's pretty decently affordable.
I've never done an Airbnb.
Rudy, trust you, certain cities you gotta do Airbnb. Like I did in San Diego, there was an Airbnb. Now San Diego is great, a lot of homeless people, beach town. But I honestly, Rudy, probably would have recommended you San Diego over the rude people in Phoenix.
Well, we're gonna do either San Diego next year or we're gonna go to Orlando for Disney next year. So
nice.
Scratch Arizona off, scratch the Grand Canyon off, scratch Phoenix.
But Rudy,
off.
I still have to go there. So
well, I'm gonna give you a heads up. Definitely take sunglasses. Definitely take sunblock.
Yeah.
Wear your sunglasses in the mall area because you don't want to see half of the shit that I saw. Be prepared to be treated like crap everywhere you go, no matter where. Everywhere you go, be prepared to be treated like crap. And another thing is, I thought it was a San Antonio thing, Gio, but I got asked for tips again at a drive-thru. And this was like at Wendy's. This was at, I believe at Chick-fil-A as well.
Wait, are they physically asking you, hey?
You give them the card and they run the card and they say, can you sign this? And when you sign it, it's like, $14.25 tip, total amount, sign the bottom. That's a San Antonio thing. Now, I got fed up with it already one time. I thought going to Phoenix, I wouldn't have to deal with that. I had to deal with it there.
Well, it is more common now. Now, I've never seen that at Wendy's, though. I don't, because if you order through the drive-thru, Rudy, I don't think you you see that, right? Because you just hand the card.
Oh, dude. And well, yeah, but it happened there.
Okay.
And it also, I mean, it happens in town, San Antonio. Happens a lot of restaurants.
It's becoming a norm now.
They do can you fill this out, please? Like, oh, sure, yeah, I'll fill it out. Yeah,
zero.
It's zero. So, am I an a-hole for not tipping at a drive-thru?
No.
I was actually told one time that I was an a-hole.
Well, Rudy, that's a post-COVID. That never happened like that, Rudy. Never.
Exactly.
It was during COVID. You started to see the tipping thing literally everywhere you go now. Can you tip? I have no problem now just putting zero. I absolutely have. If I'm picking up my order, nothing for you. Now, if I have a big to-go order and they have to, actually put stuff together, okay, but normally, Rudy, no.
But it's a to-go order. Even if they've got to put a to-go order. I mean, why are you leaving a tip?
No,
a tip is required. Okay, a tip is required when they're waiting on you. Now, people say, well, they are waiting on you. They're getting you your food. You know what? I'd rather tip the chef or the cooks before you for sticking your arm into my car, giving me my food.
Well, Rudy, some cities, even on food, they're adding taxes or restaurants are adding extra taxes, Rudy. I saw someone post a receipt that says something tips for cruise or something like that. I'm like, dude, the restaurants are also getting out of hand too, Rudy. And also the county as well. The county I live in actually has a restaurant tax. It's like, dude.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I don't
Chicago DoorDash. When I used to live in the Windy City, 2 or 3 extra taxes just to order food. Shout out to Chicago. But I mean, it's just like, dude, it's ridiculous, man. So yeah, it's COVID really was a different time, and we still see everything. Even non-food stuff, really. I've been asked to tip for things other than just food.
I haven't seen that yet. But then again, I don't do the the DoorDash, the Uber, or anything like that. I don't do any of that. But I'm not gonna go get my Chipotle order and pay $44 for my bowl because I gotta pay for the bowl. I gotta pay for your tip. I gotta pay for your gas. I gotta pay for your kid's bag of diapers. I gotta do this on top of that. I gotta buy the fucking formula. No, I don't need to pay $44 for my Chipotle bowl.
Chipotle to go is suicide. Don't listen. Whoever listening, do never get Chipotle DoorDashed. It's a big mistake. Trust me on that. They will give you like no food in your bowl. You have to watch them.
Hey, shout out to the Chipotle over there at San Marcos Outlets. I went today. Jesus Christ, they packed it, the bowl, and I'm like, I love y'all. I would have put $100 bill and give it to all of them.
The Chipotle right next door to me is absolutely terrible, so I have to go somewhere else just to get a decent bowl. Shout out to the people who don't charge you when you get double steak or chicken.
Oh yeah, they're the real winners, man. Let me get some of these comments so we can move on. No donkey ride. I guess a chopper ride is out too. Yeah, I didn't do nothing at the Grand Canyon. I looked at it from very far. It looked damn pretty, so I liked it. I loved it. Roller coasters rock, Gio. This was my first summer being able to fit in one. That was my problem back in the day.
Congrats.
Back when I was 2 times Fat Albert, I couldn't fit in anything.
I've always been able to. I will say now, sometimes it's just too, like, I'm so tall, or not so tall, but like, I'm pretty tall already. So
yeah,
my legs don't particularly fit, but luckily, I'm not too, wide. So I don't have that problem.
Dude, back in the day. Well, no, back in the day, I mean, yeah, I was fat. I probably had easily, triple D titties on me. So when I would get in a roller coaster, Gio, and you push it down, those triple Ds would be like X's, bro. I mean, I had double airbags on my roller coaster rides back in the day. So I know what you mean, man. I couldn't fit back then.
Well, also the airplane's ready with the seatbelt. If you can't fit it, you have to get an extender.
Oh yeah. Luckily I've never had to get an extender for the airplane.
Me either.
My fat ass has been able to fit every single time in an airplane.
Also, the people who don't want to buy 2 seats when they're taking up 2 seats.
That's a problem.
That is a problem. I won't talk about that because I've seen a bunch of videos of that. But
You need to. We need to have just a sit down talk about all.
Well,
the
my
BS
thing is,
going
look, I was in a flight not too long ago. I don't remember if it was San Diego, Seattle, one of those flights, and someone was taking up 2 seats, and people are walking, right? And he's like having his body on both seats. The flight attendant's like, listen, you're going to have to scoot in because unless you didn't purchase that seat, you have to squish. So he's all squished up on the side there.
I was like that. Why is it back in the day, Gio, that I was never able to sit on a window seat? They always pretty much had me in the middle because I think the fat guys have to balance everything out. You don't want to have the plane going one side. I don't know what it is, man. Jonathan Perez.
I hate sitting in the middle.
I don't care. I don't like flying at all, considering the heights thing. I hate flying, but I have to do it from time to time. Jonathan Bett is in here. He says, man, these Arizona drivers dumb as F. Even he knows it, Gio. Those drivers are terrible, dude. Terrible.
One thing I want to shout out real quick before we move on.
Go ahead.
So I'm on the flight. It's about 3 hours.
Yeah.
And for Southwest, they got free movies, or no, it was actually on United. And you know what I started watching already? It's been a while.
Yeah.
I started watching The Godfather. And it's been a while since I've seen it. And man, I sat back, I said, The Godfather, Rudy, it was such a great movie. And maybe when I was younger, I just didn't appreciate it. But just sitting there watching, because it's like 3.5 hours long, I said, what a masterpiece. What a masterpiece to watch. Shout out to Al Pacino's in there. They got the father from Elf. I forgot his name. I think he recently passed away. It's just such a good team. The third one's a bit of a doozy, but the first two, phenomenal. If any of you guys haven't watched The Godfather, go spend some time.
I think everybody's watched it, dude. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. JD Wyatt. So, Southern Fried Sports, he's going to be on Sweep the League pretty soon here. Already talked to him. Sweep of the Nation on Sweep the League. What's good, y'all? Appreciate you joining us here. Angel's in here. What up, Rudy? Get into all your comments right now. Sit to saying no cussing, Rudy. I'm sorry. We're not supposed to cuss, it loses listeners, so we can't do that. JD White, I'm looking forward to joining in as a guest in the coming weeks. Can't wait. Sit to saying he loves him a torta. I don't think you like the tortas I saw in Phoenix. Period. Yeah. Mexican food's not good at all over here. Miss that Tex-Mex. I guess I should have hit up Jonathan if he lives in the Arizona area, Phoenix area. Leha saying, I'm going to tip these effing hands. Of course, you got to tip the hands. Like my fucking ass, I need to give you and Gio on a restaurant etiquette episode. Oh, yeah, that'll be a good one. Put restaurants on the topic list for when I join. I've worked in all different kinds of restaurants, hospitality, tax. I'm telling you, dude, the taxes and the tips are just terrible. This is the opening for Reservoir Dogs. Who's Mr. Pink? Hey, gotta pay for the Spurs arena somehow. Yeah,
that's true, Rudy.
I'm not paying for that shit. I don't live in Bear County anymore. It's the damn liberal state. Shout out to Leha. Stir the pot. We're stirring it up. Jacob Eric, Upgrading the Market, is in here. He says, what's up, family? Don't want to miss those episodes. You got a bunch of comments, man. After them kids, Anakin Skywalker. Holy cow, man. Sid's coming in strong with that one. Guac is extra all the time at Chipotle. I don't get the guac. I don't get the queso. So I just don't see a point in getting all that. Never been to Chipotle. Your boy's broke. We're going to have to get Sid some Chipotle. You're missing out, bro. Can't be fat in this heat, humidity. Never seen it. And then he says James Conn. Yeah, James Conn is the father, and then never seen it. So shout out to everybody out there. Appreciate y'all joining us here. Bottom line, Gio, we just don't tip at the drive-thru. I mean, there's just
drive-through. And I have, you know what? In the beginning, I was like, damn, should I? Now, zero. I have no problem hitting that real quick. It's just gotten out of hand, and COVID kind of allowed that to get out of hand. So,
Rudy's my godfather. Leha is the Don of USOA. Man, how does he do it? Like that? I don't know. I can't do the voice. I can't do nothing like that. There's not even close to that. All right, Jeff was in here earlier. Hope he's still here. It's NBA talk time. You know what, Gio? Let's save the Spurs talk for the very end. Everybody likes to get into that here a little bit. NBA talk, man. We're going to talk about the NBA free agency, what teams are going to be the teams to watch, yada, yada. Let's jump into this NBA talk. All right, so jumping in the East Coast first here. I'm going to go with mine. I'll lead it off here. My top 6 teams right now is who I'm looking at right here. My top 6 teams, I've got Atlanta in that top 6 right now. I really love what they've done with the Hawks. I mean, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Luke Kennard, Kristaps Porzingis, if he stays healthy, relatively plays a lot of games. The Atlanta Hawks are looking really, really good right now. Detroit Pistons is another team that I've got in the top 6. I've got the Orlando Magic, especially with the Desmond Bane move, got them in the top 6. I've also got, Jesus, I had it in a little while ago. The Cleveland Cavaliers is another one that's in there. They are they're going to be penalized because they're over that second apron. So Dan Gilbert's already said, hey, you know what? We're going to roll with the team. If it's not working out, then we're going to go ahead and blow it up so we can get under that second apron. So I have Cleveland as of right now. I still have Cleveland in there. I've got the New York Knicks in there. I actually think the Knicks are probably going to be my number 1 seed overall. Is what I think when it comes to the Knicks. I really like the Knicks.
Are they going to run out of gas, Rudy? They'll come playoff time?
Because Mike Brown is the head coach.
That
Mike
is true.
Brown's the head coach.
Please forgot about that.
Yeah, Mike Brown's the head coach. I love what they're doing there. Now, my problem is those are 5. The 6th team, I'm still fighting with. Miami could still be there. I like what Charlotte's done. I don't think their playoff team are even that much better. But those are my 5. I don't really buy Milwaukee. Dame Lillard's gone. Didn't really do much in Milwaukee. Indiana lost Miles Turner. So the Celtics are like there, but I don't know if they're going to be good without Tatum. So who could that 16 be? Give me your East teams right now that you're figuring like these are going to be the dominant teams.
Well, Rudy, I like what the Hawks did, becoming relevant, and if Porzingis stays healthy, and obviously Trae Young takes another step, the Hawks are going to probably be a top 5. I love what the Magic did, Rudy. I know I was a little skeptical at first. It's like so many first-round picks, but once upon a time, the Timberwolves gave up like 50 picks for Rudy Gobert, right? I mean, it's just one of those things that happened. The Magic, Knicks, Rudy, obviously now with a new coach, Cavaliers. If the Cavs could just stay healthy, Rudy would love to see what they could have done against Indiana. And then Rudy, Boston, I'm going to give them the benefit.
Okay.
I say they're the 5th seed. The 6th seed I have between Miami and Milwaukee. I think those 2 teams right there. Miami's been one of those teams where they just, after that last NBA Finals, Rudy, they've kind of been just floating around the bottom of at least the playoff seating. But Rudy, Detroit, I think they take a step back, Rudy.
Really?
Do you think they peaked? Because
no.
I know you had them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I did.
I think maybe they take a step back.
So I would say they would take a step back, but the additions of LeVert and Duncan Robinson, I think helps a lot, dude. It helps a whole lot. Duncan Robinson gives them that spot-up shooter that is going to be able to open up the lane for Cade Cunningham a lot more. Karis LeVert, we know he can score.
Yeah,
he's going to be a really perfect piece for Detroit. Now, the re-signing of Paul Reed is huge. Detroit is literally one big man away. And there's some bigs out there that they could possibly go after. I mean, Danny Ainge is having a fire sale. Imagine them going to get a Walker Kessler to help fill in with Durant. I mean, Detroit, I don't think they take a step back. I got them in the top 5, to be honest, you. I mean, they're a top 5 team in the East.
They're definitely in my playoffs, but the top 5 for sure: Cleveland, New York, Orlando, Atlanta, and I'm going to throw Boston in there, Rudy. I think they still have enough talent. I mean, obviously they've had to let guys go, and we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the summer. But I think Miami is going to be in there. Milwaukee. I mean, Rudy, the thing about Milwaukee is, you let go Dame, and then you still owe him money, and then you get Miles Turner. I don't know if that's necessarily enough to put them over the hump, but
No.
I definitely think they're in the top 6 or 7th. And Rudy, unfortunately, I don't have Indiana there.
No, I don't either. And I talked to Derek, and he's kind of like, you got to remember. I'm like, man, Halliburton's out for the entire year. You don't have Miles Turner. Who's their go-to? I mean,
Siakam's really.
Siakam? I mean,
we'll see how their other guys step up. And listen, they have some hell of really good role players who now have to take it up a notch, Rudy. And sometimes, Rudy, some guys aren't good in starting lineups. Some guys are just good kind of behind the scenes being that role player. We'll see what happens. But I'm really interested in Orlando, Rudy. I really, man, if it all clicks, and I know they just get Paolo the extension, I believe.
Yeah, they just got him the extension.
Rudy, I got one question for you.
What's up?
You know, Oklahoma City gave the extension to
Chet. And Chet.
But Chet, is he worth that money to you?
That's a great question. Personally, yes. I think I'm
struggling. Yeah, I'm struggling though, because I look and I say he was hurt, Rudy, and they still won a bunch of games. It's like
the way you put it was perfect. Is he worth it? He's not worth that much of an extension, but it's a must sign. Like, you had to do it. There's no way around it. It had to be done. You're off of a title. He's a very key component to the team. Do you let him walk, after this season or whatever? Do you let him walk, or do you wait to try to re-sign him if some other team's going to pay him a ridiculous amount? Now, some team's going to pay him a ridiculous amount.
Second option.
Okay.
If you're the GM, Sam, would the thought of a trade cross your mind? To say,
absolutely.
If I would have gotten, really good value for him. Because when I saw that pop up on my timeline, I said, yeah, he's good, but is he that? I don't know. And we'll see, Rudy, because we've seen a lot of guys really get contracts and you never hear about them again.
Yeah.
Chandler Parsons, obviously for the wrong reasons, but there's certain guys that get contracts and they just don't pan out. And I'm interested to see, can he stay healthy, Rudy? Because if he can stay healthy and play on a high level, sure. Mm-hmm. But health with him has been a big concern in his career. And, that's a lot of money. Trading him for some, they probably would have got something pretty good in return, Rudy.
I think they still can, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's out of the ordinary to think that they would trade him if need be.
Well, they're going to have to unload probably some contracts in a few years, so the possibility
Hardenstein won't be there much longer.
Yeah.
I think you're building around Chet, Shea, and of course, Williams. That's who you're building around. Now, remember, you got Topic, who's coming up and playing really good in the summer. So, you've got another guard there that's going to be on a very cheap contract. You've got Cason Wallace, again, is on a very cheap contract. You've got guys that are, on very inexpensive contracts. And you've got all those draft picks to draft guys to continue to fill out the roster. So I think you make that deal because it's necessary and it's important for you to make that deal for Chet Holmgren. Eddie the First says, I need my driveway redone. Let's do a giveaway. Well, we can. We'll put your name only in the hopper and we'll contact MCS General Contracting. Leha saying Eddie's wild for that one. He says, man, it's bad. I wonder how bad. Yeah, see, Leha wants picks, pause. Double pause. Don't send him the picks. Just driveway picks, nothing else, man. Waiting for the pinch worm from Tremors to come through it. Oh, wow. Tremors. Shout out to Tremors. Do you expect NBA expansion soon? That's what Jeff wants to know. I've seen some bad driveways. SGA got paid and Chet got paid. Williams, Magic going to be tough. Yep, trade all the picks for Joker. I agree, Leha. If you can get Joker, trade them all. Y'all remember when Rudy gave the league COVID trying to be funny? I did not give them COVID. I know you're talking about Rudy Gobert, but yeah, I remember all that. Hell no, he's going to good team. Rasho had a damn ring before the exact same guy. Okay. I get all the talks here, but in the East, it's going to be kind of wide open. I still think Milwaukee may get a play-in spot. Miami, I think I'm going to go. It could possibly be Miami as my 6th team in the East. It could be Milwaukee. I don't know. I don't really have a good 6 team now in the West. Go ahead.
We didn't say playoff P and Mr. Joel Embiid.
Well, I don't know how good they're going to be.
That's a wild card team to me, Rudy, because if they stay healthy the entire year, I could definitely see them in the top 5, top 6.
Yeah.
See,
I would give them the 6th spot, to be honest with you.
With Joel and Podcast P, I'm not sure where they also are mentally. I know what Maxi's going to give me, right? I know what he's capable of, but the rest of the guys, I mean, really, I don't know where play. And I know I keep making fun of him, calling him Podcast P, but like, where is he at mentally? I watched some of his podcasts. To me, he looks like he's checking out. That's just the vibe I'm getting.
Could be. Very well could be. And don't forget, they got VJ Edgecombe, and he looked really good in Summer League so far. So if he pans out, that gives the Sixers another weapon that they could possibly have. They could get into the top 6. Western Conference top 6, Gio. Let's play the cheeseman here for the Spurs.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs cheeseman. Dime, por favor.
All right, thank you, Spurs cheeseman girl. Okay, Western Conference, Gio. I know Spurs are the talk of the town. We really don't talk a whole lot. Can't concentrate on certain, teams and everything. But if you're looking at the Western Conference is pretty loaded. And it's pretty stacked on, for majority of the Western Conference itself. The obvious teams on there, Oklahoma City is definitely an obvious team. I'm going to say right now, Denver is back in the championship contention. And when I say championship contention, I'm talking, I barely have them. And the only reason why I have them under Oklahoma City is because Oklahoma City won the title. I give them the benefit of the doubt for being champions. But Denver is a title team right now.
Well, they took them to 7 games, Rudy, as well.
And
had some injuries there. So I like Denver's opportunity. I think Cameron Johnson, Rudy, I'll take him.
And then you got Bruce Brown back. Tim Hardaway Jr. fills that reserve role again as well. I mean, they were needing a bench, and they got 2 fantastic bench guys in Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, they need to go out. Now, they got Valanciunas, who obviously doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He's going to go play overseas, apparently. But if they can get another big guy to fill out that roster, Denver probably is the best in the West. I mean, I can easily say that right now. Best in the West. Those are my 2 top teams to go along with the Houston Rockets. They make the top 6 for me. I mean, Kevin Durant was okay, really good. But the additions they made and the re-signings they made, Houston's definitely a top 6 team. Everybody's worried about the Mavericks. But a healthy Maverick squad, even if you don't have Kyrie, you went out and got D'Angelo Russell, who can fill the point guard role. If they are healthy, I got the Mavericks as a top 6 team. So those are my first 4. Who do you guys your first 4?
Well, listen, I got the just kidding. The Oklahoma City Thunder at number 1. Soon. Houston Rockets, Rudy. I mean, I got Denver too. I just love what they did. And they took that team, like I said, to 7 games, and a lot could have happened. Third, give me the Rockets.
Same here.
Before free agency, we talked about maybe could take a step back. No, they're taking steps forward.
Yeah.
And listen, for what it's worth, Minnesota's made the conference finals 2 years in a row, Rudy. You still have to put them, I think, in the top 4 still. I know they were the 5th seed. I think they were 5th or the 6th seed, right? Last season.
Yeah.
So with another off season, I think they just continue to get better. And then number 4, if healthy, Give me the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean,
They
there's-
have to, Brady, if they could just stay healthy. That's a big caveat because if your big guy goes down, which is Anthony Davis, for extended period, I mean, it's just give me one. If they completely healthy, obviously Kyrie's coming back from injury, but I'm just saying in general, if they stay healthy, they're right there. And the Clippers are taking a step back for me, but I still like Kawhi. I think Kawhi is good enough to get you at least top 7, Rudy, but the Clippers are out of that top 4. Rudy, what do you think about the Lakers? I know you didn't mention
I'm gonna say right now, the Lakers are at best a play-in team. At best, a play-in team.
You don't think Ayton was?
No. Aiden's gonna look good for a little bit, but you know what?
He's question. Listen, I've seen some very questionable effort plays.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of clips of him, and does he have that motor? No, I just don't see it from him. You know, LeBron's on his last legs. I don't think LeBron's going to be doing raw on Ayton, but
you don't even want to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, Lakers are at best a play-in team. At best. When your best signing is Jake LaRavia, you know you have problems.
So yeah, that's pretty much my top 5. The Clippers, like I said, why did they trade Powell though? I really listen. Powell had a good year, man. There were games where for the last several years, I've been a gambling man, but he's had some really impressive games.
Yeah,
for a guy in Collins who he's good, but
well, you trade Norman Powell, who was arguably your second best player while Kawhi was out. Yeah. I mean, he made an All-Star game. And you go out and get John Collins and Brook Lopez. Yeah, I mean, you did a great job becoming a big man team. But can Kawhi stay healthy? It's tough to say. Clippers did take a step back. I actually have them right around that 7 spot still. I mean, Lakers, I have them better than the Lakers. But for me, Minnesota's in my top 5. I'll give the Timberwolves the top 5. They've been looking good. They re-signed Naz Reid. Number 6, Gio. Boy, am I going to piss people off here. And we got to get into generational talk.
Don't do it.
Number 6, I have 4 right now because I have to make sure all free agents are signed. When we go into the summer, when we go into the training camp, when we go into the NBA season, if everything stays the same, name me a team better than the San Antonio Spurs right now. I mean, on paper, name me a team better than them.
So,
I'm waiting. Utah?
I think Golden State.
They are my fringe 6
and Curry, yeah, and what they have going on. But you're right, on paper, at least you got Wemby, Fox. Now, the 2 signings, Rudy, okay, good, solid. Not
world beaters or not game changers.
I made a comment on. I don't know what podcast, but I said Spurs got some guys from the G League, and I was just playing around. But I'm just saying I wanted something like to where you turn your head where you're like, wow, like the Spurs got that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kelly Olynyk's going to be a great – those 2 guys, really 2 good role players, Rudy. But the problem is Wemby has to stay healthy. This all really depends on Wemby. Yes. I know what Fox is going to give me. I know what type of player he is. The other guys, they could be hit and miss and work that out. But Wemby is he's the key guy, Rudy. If he takes another step, stays healthy, I mean, the Spurs are going to be a playoff team. But, man, if he gets off to a tough start, us getting hurt.
And I get what you're coming at. And, again, Leha wants to see success. And I've been saying, hey, you know what? This team, 25, 26, this will be the year we see it all turn around. And I believe so. You have a very, very deep roster on paper. Now, again, this is all based on health. Walk with me, guys. Walk with me, fans. It's based on health. A healthy team right here is going to be a very successful team. They are not title contending teams. By any means, they're not. They're not better than Denver. They're not better than OKC. They're really not better right now than Houston, and I could be wrong about that, but they're not better than Houston.
No.
They're equal to, but not quite better than Dallas just yet. I think they can give Minnesota fits. I really do. But they're on to that next level. Now, the only reason why I say that, Gio, is because of this. Everybody looks at the roster. Well, we haven't gotten shit from these guys for years. What makes you think it's going to change overnight? The coaching staff. Study that coaching staff. You have Corliss Williamson, who's a great basketball player, who brings a side that we haven't seen on the coaching staff in a while. That mean streak. Sean Sweeney, the associate head coach, the assistant basically head coach, the right-hand man. He brings a lot of defensive-minded, thoughts and plays. I mean, he's just a guru. The coaching staff they've put under Mitch Johnson is the reason why this team is going to be a better team. You are out of the Greg Popovich shadow. That's no more. So the coaching staff is the reason why I've got them as a team that's going to improve a lot. Is that fair or unfair?
It's fair. Let's give them an off, a training camp, right? He hasn't had a training camp. Let's see what happens. I have hope, but some of these guys are going to have to step up already. You got to have some of these guys just can't be sleepwalking, jacking up shots. I'll never forget the game, and I know it's Wemby's first year when I went to the Indiana Spurs game. Oh my God. It's just guys just doing their own thing, no direction. They need to put their foot down. Hey guys, you got to play better, man. Like, you got to play better. Play within the system. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased because I've seen the best of the Spurs obviously years ago. But
yeah, sure.
I mean, for Vassell, I mean, some of these guys just got to play better.
You know what? They play perfect as a reserve.
Yeah.
They are reserve players. That's it. Everyone who believes that Devin Vassell is a starter and he can do that, he can't do shit. He can't do more than what he's showing you. If you take him off a starting five, put him in a reserve role, guess what? You've got a great reserve player because he's putting up reserve player numbers. That production. Look what they did to Keldon Johnson. He was a perfect six-man. Scored. He had a lot of great games as a six-man. He was a perfect reserve guy. You took him away from starting, put him in reserve spot. Devin, same thing. Jeremy, same thing. These guys are great reserve players. They're not starters. And I love what Leha said. He's out of the shadow of Pop, but everyone is more hyped about his assistants than Mitch himself. I mean, I get that, but you're surrounding a rookie coach, which technically not a rookie coach anymore, but you're surrounding him with great coaching talent. That's what I like about it. I really like about that. Shout out to everybody in here, man. We almost got to go here. Gio, I got cracked a lot, basically, and beat up on YouTube for my latest episode of Locked On Spurs. One guy called me an idiot, which happens a lot. It happens a lot. I'm an idiot. And that's why, if you look at my title, it says Locked On Spurs Official Wemby Hater. Apparently, I'm a Wemby hater because I said Wemby's not generational. Well, the guy called me an idiot because Rudy doesn't know ball because Wemby made an all-star game his second year. That makes him generational. Okay. Benefit of the doubt. 7'4", generational. We've never seen that before. I mean, I'm gonna think back. Gio, give me a second. Let me think back. Have we seen that before? No, we haven't.
Test determined that was a lie.
It was a lie. We have. Yao Ming was an all-star his second year in the league. So we determined that was a lie. Devin isn't a starter. Jeremy isn't a starter. Kelly, yeah. I mean, they're not great starters. That's what we were saying. Like, so then I was called out about the whole, well, he's generational because he blocks so many shots. Man, has there ever been another guy over 7'2" that's blocked a lot of shots? I don't think so.
That was a lie.
Oh, Mark Eaton. Mark Eaton was leading the league in blocks for a while there. Okay. We've never seen 7-footers knock down consistent threes.
That was a lie.
Dirk Nowitzki's a 7-footer knocking down threes. What makes Wemby generational? Why do I get the crap for not calling him generational?
Well, we've gone way back and forth.
We have
on generational. I've always said he has the making of being a generational player because some nights you see him play, you will see things that you've never seen before.
Like what? Explain it to me. I'm being honest with you.
No, he'll do a move on the court where you're like, dude, like I've never seen that before. Not necessarily like blocking shots and stuff like that. He'll do a move, he'll dunk, or he'll grab the ball in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll do something where you're like, damn, I don't really see that. But he's got to continue to improve. I think his height, Rudy, if he's at his apex, he will be literally unstoppable in this league. There's no one who can guard him because he's taller than everybody else. He's not there yet, though. Yeah,
he never uses it to his advantage.
Well, he's jacking up shots too much. That's another thing too. Get him, Rudy. Just imagine him just going in the post and just turning around and just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's easy, right?
We have to see more of that. I think he has the capability. I think at his apex. Now, to say that just because he made an all-star team, Rudy, there's been plenty of guys who've made all-star teams. Many guys who made it
at one time. I think he made an all-star game.
There's been plenty of guys. I don't want to throw shade to any of guys who've made it once, but there's been a ton of guys who have, and they're not generational. I just think Rudy at his complete peak, if he reaches his full potential at that height and the skills that he has, I mean, he could be literally unstoppable. Kevin Durant-esque to a certain extent, at least from scoring wise, and defensively, obviously he can block shots and do all that. I just think it's there, but we haven't seen it. And will we ever see it? I don't know.
So I appreciate man, Rudy Cook, and definitely. And David's here saying Wemby is generational because he has guard-like skills. Again, bring me some highlights that shows me that he's dribbling the ball like Isaiah Thomas.
Well, I mean, look, it's there, Rudy. It just needs to be packaged correctly. And right now, there's games where he's just jacking up shots. Rudy, he needs to be in the post a lot more often to really, I think, get his offense even more flowing. Because Rudy, who's blocking his shot? Realistically,
I mean, nobody. But that was the comment that I made to end the whole generational talk. Was I said, if you can't be dominant at a position where you should be, which is in the post, you're not generational.
No, and if you compare, he's not 7'4", but Robinson's what, 7 foot, Rudy?
7'1".
7'1". If you compare the first few years,
Robinson had better stats.
Robinson had better years. He had, at that time, the greatest single season turnaround in NBA history. So
you're selling me as David Robinson as being a generational talent.
Yes.
Because you can point, well, look at the Wemby years and look at the Robinson first year. Robinson had better rookie numbers. And NBA Rookie of the Year, NBA Rookie of the Year. Robinson turned the team around, plus 30-something wins or something like that? Wemby, same amount of wins, I think, as the previous year. So this is where I kind of get off, Gio, is this right here. When they say generational, check this out. Is it generational because you kids out there have not seen what I've seen in the past? Because everything that Wemby's done, dribble the ball and jump from just inside the free throw line and dunk it. Ooh, oh my God. I've never seen that. Bullshit. I saw Larry Nance back in the day do that in a game. I mean, I've seen what he's done.
You've seen
by
it,
big guys before,
but doing it every single night as a completely see, you want to see more of the domination. You want to see him really take that next step. And I think really what's happening is, would you say Wemby has a little bit of an identity crisis?
Yes.
Because of the era that he plays in.
Yes. He's a 7'4" guy thinking he is Steph Curry, thinking he's Ant Edwards or Kevin Durant.
If he's playing in the 90s, right, and he's going up against Shaq, Alonzo, Olajuwon, David, maybe Carl, or I mean, Carl would really hurt you. Already that's what it's an identity crisis. It's the era that he's playing in that is causing, I think, what do we do with this guy? He's sitting by the 3-point line, dude. Go in the lane. Like, I think he has an identity crisis. This coaching staff really needs to put, hey, dude, like we need to really dominate. It's okay to make 2-point shots, Rudy. Well, Kawhi has made a living on 2-point shots.
Gilchrist Alexander had one of the greatest seasons of all time by living inside the 3-point line. That's what I'm getting at, Gio. You are on fire. You're talking about it because if you want to be called generational, dominate like Kareem, who has one of the greatest careers of all time. Work your way on being Dirk Nowitzki or Kevin Durant. If you can't dominate the one area on the basketball court where you can't be stopped, then everybody, from 5-year-old kids to 60-year-old people, old men, stop with the generational talk. The guy is generational because you haven't seen it yet. I have. Everything he's done, I yawn at because I've seen it before. That's why he's not generational. And that's why you, Gio, of all people, know, you've known me for a long time. I don't call very many people generational. It's rare that I use that word anywhere.
And to be fair to Wemby, I know he played overseas. Comparing him to David went to the Naval Academy, and coming out looked like a, should I say, grown specimen. I mean, really, they won 21 games, and then won 56 games.
35 games.
The next season, I think they lost in 7 to Portland, but that's the type of impact we need to see from Wemby. And I always say that generational is there. We just need to see it. Will we ever see it, Rudy? Maybe not. We may never see his peak to a certain extent because maybe health or, hey, it just doesn't happen. But I'm rooting for Wemby. I'm excited for the Spurs season, Rudy. It's going to be, Spurs Twitter is going to be rocking during the season. I might have to come on just for that. And I'm excited. But yeah, no, it's I really want to see Wemby take that next step forward. And we talk about the process, right? We talk about quarterbacks, right, Rudy?
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, a hell of a year, right? Year 2, I feel like he took a little bit of a step back a little bit, right? Like, wasn't as what I saw in year 1, but you want to see him take that next step, right? So that's what we want to see from Wemby. No hate from Wemby. I'm not a hater. I'm excited. I need to get his jersey. But man, it's to say he's already there. No, he's not there.
And that's what I don't see. The thing is because I say that, people refer to me as a Wemby hater. I hate the Spurs. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know ball. Biggest thing is, you're always being negative on the Spurs. I am not. If there's ever a person out there who wants to see them succeed, I truly want the Spurs to succeed. I'm a Spurs fan, but at the same time, just because I'm a Spurs fan doesn't mean I can't do my job or Gio can't do his job. here on Sweep the League, and that's give you the best coverage possible. If we see something wrong, it's our job to call it out and say it. Now, if you want to feel he's generational, I'll never argue with you on that, because he's generational to you. Or maybe you turned on Sports Center and heard some of those guys say Wemby's generational. Well, guess what? I think Wemby's generational too. By all means, you believe what you want to believe. All I know is Santa Claus isn't real, and the Tooth Fairy's not real either. But if you want to believe he's generational, go for it. I'm never going to tell you Santa Claus is not real if you believe in Santa Claus. But again, that's on them, dude. That's the way I feel about that.
No, I mean, Rudy, and you're right. Listen, we call it like it is. We even talk about our own teams. I talk about the Rams. I'm very, at times, can be really tough on them because I know how good they could be, and I know how good Wemby can be. It's just, hey, you know what? We haven't seen it. We've seen it in glimpses, Rudy. He's had some games where you're sitting back like, oh, a triple-double with, 10 blocks? I mean, it's there. We got to just see it consistently. And Rudy, what else do we talk about? The intangibles, right? Things we can't see. It's the making your players around you better. I know some people say, well, you can't measure that. What was Tony Parker when he came to the Spurs? At one point he was going to get traded, Rudy.
Yeah, he was.
Manu Ginobili, right? Bruce Bowen was a bit of a journeyman, Rudy. And yeah, you could say Pop put him in the right spots. Yeah, I get all that. But Tim Duncan was your guy. And when certain players played with Tim, it was, Rudy, Danny Green. That 2013 finals run was unbelievable. There's just certain guys that just kind of rubs off on you. And of course, you need good coaching. All that stuff does matter, of course. But the intangibles, Rudy, I don't know. I can't see it. You're not going to see it, but I got to see, does he have the intangibles making players around him better? Because here's Rudy, especially year one, woo! In the words of Ric Flair, woo! It was bad. It was really bad.
Woo! There you go. Oh, you know, that should we're going to give you 2 claps. Yeah, like I was saying, you want to talk about generational talent, Lamine Yamal. He's a soccer player, obviously football, for everybody out there. But yeah, I don't follow it enough, man. But I know soccer's been going crazy. We got to get some soccer talk in here. David's in here. It's a 3-point game. That's why Wemby shoots threes. It's not 2005 with 4 down anymore. But
yeah,
the teams in the finals, they had big men who could play in the paint. So it's not so much 4 down anymore, but when they clog the paint, if he dominates in the paint, chances are they're going to clog the paint. Then you start bringing him out a little bit. Start giving him that jump shot, the pick and roll. He can start knocking that down. There's different ways to attack it, but you're 7'4". If you can't dominate on the court where you're supposed to, then I can't call you generational, period. I think that's what it comes down to, man. That's what it comes down to. Coach Gio, Rudy Campos Jr., that's our show for tonight. Be sure to join Plead the Sith on Tuesday. Michael Menace from the Area 210, was it Area 210 podcast or Alamo City Podcast Network? Hopefully we'll get some answers for us here at Sweep the League. Sith will do his job, but nonetheless, it's going to be a great show. Eric Jacob and Anthony with Grading the Market. They'll be able to take you through all the collectible stuff. And don't forget, Plead the Sith TV or PTS TV on YouTube. Subscribe to that. That's where you're going to get those shows, as well as on Sweep the League Network and on X at Sweep the League. So tons of new networks dropping. JD Wyatt, Southern Fried Sports, is going to be joining me here pretty soon. That might be another show that's going to be added for you guys on here. So we got a lot of stuff going on. So for Coach Gio, for Derek Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr., until we sweep the league again, we'll see.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, we got one here.
I want to say one thing. Today's Wednesday, but I was looking through my Facebook timeline, and apparently 7-9 used to be Jeff Fisher Day because he historically went 7-9. Shout out to Jeff Fisher. No shade at Jeff. It's been a long time, but just wanted to throw that out. Today is Jeff Fisher Day.
Give me a hell yeah.
There you go. There's your hell yeah, Gio, for Jeff Fisher. 7-9's official Jeff Fisher Day. Till we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, knuckleheads. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.